Looks like the state fair here in Springfield is going to get $4 million or so. It's a decent amount of money. But the DuQuoin Fair might get whacked, and county fairs might get whacked. What are you hearing, and why is there a difference, such a difference, between the House spending plan and the Senate spending plan?
Well, I think it's important when you look at the House plan, we're a little more conservative. I think it's a more realistic budget. When you look at cutting the county fairs, to me, that's totally irresponsible. When you look at agriculture being responsible for about a quarter of the jobs in this state, when you look at all of our young people that use the county fairs as a learning experience, whether it's showing their animals, whether it's the crafts that they're producing, whether it's just the camaraderie of getting together and advance in their maturity, and to cut that down to zero is just totally irresponsible.
I was talking with one fair organizer who said, they don't get a lot from the state, but they don't need a lot, but they do make their money when they get people in. And all of a sudden, if they can't have a little bit extra to pay some premiums, or they don't have anything to help get a draw, especially $4 gas, you're not going to get these big crowds, and that's where a lot of these places make their money.
That's right, and it's important to realize really the effect that this have on some of these communities. So we're certainly going to be working with the leaders. We're going to see if we can get this money put back in, and certainly fund these fairs at the rate that they should be.
I grew up in Naperville. I've covered the state fair. I covered the sale of champions. My favorite question is, a sheep is like a goat, but I never did 4-H. And I talked with a gal down in Saline County who said that nobody ever makes any money, but if you take away the money, you're not going to have the ducks or the chickens or the cows or the sheep. The 4-H is one of these things that just can't really survive too much of a budget cut.
No, it can't. It's been bare bones for a lot of years, and when you look at the good, the fact that it teaches these kids basic responsibilities, whether it's animal care or what it is, it really instills in them a sense to do what is right.
Now, I'm sure, we write this story every year. I'm sure you hear this question every year. People in Chicago who don't come down to the state fair, who don't have as much fun as I do when I go every year. The state's broke. We can't pay for everything. Why are we paying $4 million for a fair if it doesn't make money? What do we say to those questions?
Well, you look at the state fair, and I sit on the Legislative Audit Commission, and I have this disagreement with Bill Holland every year that they're looking at just the gate receipts as far as saying the fair makes money or it doesn't. And that's really the wrong way to look at it. It's the whole central Illinois area, what happens when that fair goes on. When you look at the tax revenues, and these things should be included whether the fair makes money or not. When you look at what's being spent at restaurants, hotels, gas, it's a total picture, not just part of it.